Our next guest is one of my heroes. He's an expert thought leader, author, entrepreneur, professor, and the creator of some strategies that may change your industry. That includes the Compassionate Leadership Pyramid and also a disability degree attainment model. What do they mean? Well, let me put this in more perspective. He's also an agent in Hollywood, so not only is connected to everybody, but he also knows what makes somebody successful. We're going to find out how that can impact you on this show when we next talk to Dr. Abraham Khoureis on Speak on Stage. Welcome to Speak on Stage with davecrane, the podcast where we unpack the art and science of public speaking to help you command the stage with confidence and authority. I'm your host, davecrane, and as a seasoned speaker, coach, and entertainer, I've had the privilege of helping thousands of individuals like you to unlock their true potential on stage all around the world. Each week, we'll bring you candid conversations with industry experts, successful speakers, and thought leaders, delving into proven strategies, practical tips, and personal anecdotes to empower you to become a captivating communicator. So whether you're a seasoned pro looking to refine your skills or a beginner taking your first steps onto the stage, this podcast is your go-to resource for mastering the craft of public speaking. So grab your notepad, open your mind, and get ready to amplify your impact as we embark on this journey together. Welcome to Speak on Stage with davecrane. Together, let's jump and grow wings on the way down. Dr. Abraham, fantastic. So pleased to have you on the show. You and I haven't talked properly like this for ages, but we do talk quite often just by WhatsApp. And I feel like you're an old friend, but we've only just chatted a couple of times before in real time.
That's absolutely true. Good to see you, Dave. It's an honor to be with you and with your audience. Thank you for the good introductions. Well, yes, we met several times. Very true.
Now, here's the thing. I'm going to introduce how we first connected. I used to do a load of videos on YouTube, on LinkedIn, where there were spoken word videos. I'd add music, I'd add words to it, so the words would pop up, and graphics. So they were almost like mini music videos, and you picked up on it, and you said, tell me about that. And I did them for a little while, and then I stopped when everybody started copying. What was it that made you call me in the first place?
It was the wit that you projected in these videos. And also the video was about wit, how to explore it. And we went to my show, Leadership and Politics with Dr. Abraham, and we did a show on that. And you explored it further, and we talked about that. And I recommended to people to go and check it on YouTube under my name. What I liked about you is the charming wit that you have. Very few people, remember, I'm in a position where I see talent and I develop it and I guide it. You had projected a talent, especially going up the elevator and adding the music and making this video is more vibrant than it should be or it could be. So that's what I was attracted to, and I wanted to explore wit with you, because not everybody has it. If they do have it, they don't know how to explore it.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It was Grit, the video, wasn't it?
The Grit, of course. Grit, yes.
It was, and I recorded it in one go from my car to the studio where I was going to be doing some speaker training. It lasted for exactly 4 minutes, and I had to talk all the way through, and I had no idea who I was going to meet on the journey, including policemen and people in the elevator who looked very scared. But I had to keep even the elevator was waiting for me, and it could have taken 10 minutes to arrive. But it all kind of fell into place. I'll show this video as part of our conversation at the end of it, so everyone knows.
Absolutely. That you have the grit in the wit. What I liked about you is the wit that made this video about the grit possible. Yeah, absolutely. It's really a good one. Yeah, I think that will be an excellent idea to share it with your audience.
You've got a new book coming out, which I can't wait to read, all about Hollywood and how to become a thought leader and how the industry works. Now, the thing I find fascinating about this is because Hollywood has changed so much. used to be that if you're a movie star on the silver screen, you were untouchable, and you were just, I'm not, it's a wrong phrase to use, but you're like a god to everybody. You can do no wrong, and it's only later on you find out the truth about the likes of Cary Grant and John Wayne and the people we all admired as these incredible stars, and Marilyn Monroe. You find what was actually like, the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, what the truth was. Nowadays, with social media, it's much more transparent. You've got filled up that ability to be who you are as part of your talent. So, what would you say about thought leadership? I mean, this is a huge topic to jump into. I'm not sure where we begin. What would you say, first of all, is what you cover in the book? And I know you could do this for an hour and a half, and what that links to thought leadership. And let's start the conversation going on that there.
Absolutely. So the book is Hollywood Dream. It's most people, they want to come to Hollywood to have their dreams. Some of them, they make it. Some of them, they believe they made it, and some they don't. This book, I am as a Hollywood SAG-AFTRA agent, Hollywood agent, talent agent. I have the privilege of putting this book as a guide for both the talent that actress and actresses talent, plus the people behind the scene, producers, directors, photographers, anybody that is interested of making it into Hollywood, regardless what genre they come through. So I put this book, and hopefully it will be probably July. I think August or September should be out. And it's coming from me in my own style of writing and my own expertise, probably generation of knowledge, 11 years of knowledge and expertise in the business, just to guide them. And hopefully they'll make it by giving them the access, because most of us, we don't have access. Then you dream becoming in Hollywood, but you don't know how to make it. You go through the traditional channels that they may lead you, they may not lead you. You may make it, you may not, unless you're exceptional. Here is like a mentor book guiding people how to break into Hollywood.
I love it.
Now to break, yeah, that's the idea behind it, and I hope it's going to be a change agent of sorts for them to say, okay, this book is useful. What we try to create is value. When we talk about compassionate and thought leadership, anything you do in any setting, think of people, benefits, and interest and values. When we talk about the organization, we talk about the consumer, we talk about the employee, we talk about the leadership, and we talk about the shareholders. For the consumer, which is the people reading this book, you create value to them. You create value by actually benefiting from the product you produce. This is the idea behind the approach. As far as thought leadership is really, it's an inspiration to make society better. A thought leader is, regardless what position is he in Hollywood or other places, is an individual that they have ideas, and he uses his leadership skills to put it into practice. That's really what is a thought leader. You're an expert of sort, and how you place it, what method, what style, it depends on the individual. We have behind us the compassionate leadership model. Some transformational, some transactional, but the compassionate leadership, some charismatic, they just do things, they say a word and everybody will clap for them. That the compassionate leadership gives you all, imposes of all of them, imprises of all of them. So in Hollywood now, because of AI, recently SAG-AFTRA negotiated an agreement with the studios to at least work with AI, but don't allow it to change the whole format. Because the minute you use AI, you may produce better work because it's intelligent. It's an intelligent machine, intelligent process that may produce, even if you prompt it with the right words, they may produce better episode than an actual writer will do. And that's what writers are afraid of. Writers are afraid of someone will use their music because of technology, that you are able to actually produce better music with the same voice, with the same music. It's like crazy, amazingly crazy. So they're trying to say, let's have regulations play a part into it. And that's what all these agreements are. The agreement is, in case something breaks the law, they sue them. They go to court of law and they sue them, and they will either cease and desist, they stop the process, or they will take a judgment against them, get them out of business, or at least make them threaten them with a lawsuit. So at the end is the law, government regulations have to take place, because this powerful technology and innovation is taking a hold on everything we do. It's helping us in everything we do. It's helping us in medicine. It's helping us in doing assignments. Some of my students, I know now, because I'm an expert of sort, I know when a student gives me an AI, even if I read a book, even if I read an article, I know I know the words. I know when they use it and how they used it. Probably not everybody is expert in this, but I happen to be exposed enough to this kind of technology and how it's worded. So now it's really used everywhere.
It is.
We, as thought leaders, we endorse it. We use it to our own benefits, but make sure as well that others are not losing, whether monetary influence, abilities, because of this AI. And you can do this really through regulations, through government help without intervention. We don't want the government controlling it. We want it to impose its empowerment and force to make sure nobody else is able to take your own hard work and to claim it as their own.
So with AI, there's so much we can talk about with AI, but let's get back to the Hollywood star. That whether you're working behind the scenes, you're working in front of the camera, you're working in comedy. Comedy's taken a hit recently. It's hardly been any comedy shows that have come out, or any comedy movies, maybe because comedy works on shocking people to a degree, and nobody wants to say that joke that ends up getting them cancelled. But quite a lot has shifted in the way that movies are being made and Hollywood. What would you say to somebody who's starting off, who wants to break into the Hollywood industry? What would be the roadmap you would give them? I'm not saying they're an actor, I'm not saying that they're a director or they're a producer, but there are certain questions they should be asking themselves to get to a certain level. What would you say as a result of your book that they should be guided to go and do?
Well, I'm gonna there's a segment there on that one, but here I'm gonna refer to the compassionate leadership model. By being self-compassionate, you become self-compassionate. In the self-compassionate level, you actually self-develop. You develop yourself to what really what you want to write, practice to write. Right? You want to act, go to school to act. It depends on what you really want to do, and what you dream to become, and go and take a course or two, even a degree. Do not just go and assume that because of your talent you're going to be successful. These are exceptional cases. You have to study and prepare for what role you want to play. That's the first condition I would recommend. Prepare for it. Be unique in your approach. Be passionate behind it. Put a purpose. What you really want to do. What is it that you want to just act for? What purpose? Add a purpose to it and put your passion behind it. But then before that, you have to know who to contact. This is where I come. Hopefully the book will come. I give you access to places you can. I may not reveal all the access, but I can guide you what to do. Then you read what the industry has to offer. But the primary one, develop and prepare. Develop yourself and prepare the materials that you're going to present. Because when you go to an audition or an interview, you really have to know what you're talking about.
This requires for somebody to take a helicopter view of what they have inside them, their talent, their ability, their skills, their yearning, their dreams. Most people who are naturals at doing stuff don't have that. They have to develop that ability. So if you're very good at acting, you're very good at holding an audience, or you're very good at crying on demand, or whatever it is, you're very good at scripting or putting together a camera shot, you have to be able to then navigate it as a business. That's not their skill set. So for most people, they have to learn a load of different skills that they're not interested in, but they have to do it. Can't they just partner with somebody like an agent or somebody like a manager who will fast track that process? Or is that unrealistic nowadays for the way that Hollywood is?
No, no, it's very realistic. The thought came through while you're talking. I was going to recommend that as well. In our business, we do mentorship. You create someone, you find someone. Now, AI can help you to mentor yourself, but you find someone in the business, in the industry with experience that can mentor you. Probably a few hours with them may take a month practice or experience. Probably a month with them may give you a year or two. Because being a mentor, you shorten the distance of individuals' expertise. You give them guidance to what to do. So if someone is seeking this knowledge and development, if it's not available through classes, it's not available through other options, you seek a mentor in the industry, you pay them a little bit, whatever they're requiring, or if you're able to afford it, and then make that individual guide you, educate you, train you, enlighten you to become an individual that you know what you're doing. This is an approach. The manager will just manage. The agent will represent. The agent will guide to go and take it, because when the agent will meet with the individual, they know what their skills. When they do the interview and they start doing auditions, they may say, okay, probably you need an acting class. Probably you need to work on your smile. Probably you need to work on how to have a tear and all of this. And so they will guide. I guide my clients. I enlighten them. Really finding the right mentor is really the key to your success. The mentor will shorten the time you need to develop yourself professionally, academically, plus personally. You do need to have that.
I find it
So a mentor is recommended.
Look, I definitely agree with you. And as a mentor, I know you're a mentor as well, that we fast track people to get to where they need to be. Certainly when you look at all the big stories of the biggest actors and the biggest thought leaders in the entertainment industry, they all had somebody they looked up to, and often they were an understudy. And they were guided by a mentor in the very early stages, which helped them fast track that break. So there's people, for instance, like Morgan Freeman, who've been around for a long time, Samuel L. Jackson, they got their break much later in life. But there's other people who pop up faster, and a lot of it's connections, but sometimes it's just because they were, it's a wrong phrase to use nowadays, saying groomed, but they were helped on their journey and spotted at an early stage. If you're to kickstart that whole process, where do you start? Do you knock on doors and ask for a mentor? Or do you just put stuff out there and see who comes to you? Because from my own experience in the entertainment industry, people don't come and find you. They'll find you when you're ready. That's when they knock on your door.
Yes, you have to seek the mentor. The mentor is not going to come, but the surprising part of it is this. When you seek the mentor and you are able to access, and you don't have the gatekeeper or keepers keeping you away from this talent you're seeking or mentor you're seeking, you'll be surprised that these individuals that made it through life they have the humility to say yes, if they have the time. So your challenge would be is how to break down the barriers you have between you and the mentor. Now, if you're able to through connection, then that's perfect. If not, you have to be talented enough to produce something that you can project to this or present to these individuals, and you tell them, I need some guidance on. If they see this video or few minutes and they see that you have potential, probably you'll have the chance to be mentored. Now, there are coaches in Hollywood. You don't really have to go to the actual talent to guide you. They have people that really, that's their job, is to coach individuals how to be the best. And seek one of them. If we don't call them mentors, they're coaches. So seek one of them, and you definitely be a winner at the end if they don't abuse the relationship. And be careful. In Hollywood is not as it used to be before. Hopefully it developed and improved after the scandal, the Me Too movement. But in general, you really have to seek what you're seeking. You have to tell them, hey, I want to live. And people will come in and guide you through it. Some they will guide you because who you are and what you projected. And some people would seek monetary funds and say, we will charge you this much, which is, if you're able, just do it. But you do need to develop in that regards. And the access is possible with hopefully people like us that will give you access. I'm here to guide you, to give you access to it, and I will give you enough information to be aware and enlightened what you need to have to be a successful individual in your dream in Hollywood culture.
Well, that's a promise that you can't stand back for, because we've already shared it now with everybody. There's a
Yes.
couple of things that come to mind. First of all, I want to be able to talk in a moment about the future of where you see the entertainment business in Hollywood going, because it is shifting at such a rate. It's already moved from movies to television and so on. We'll go on to that in a moment. But before that, I want to ask you a question. How did you get into this? Because you are like a yin and yang. There's this incredible professor, thought leader, hangs around with Dave Ulrich and some of the biggest thought leaders on the planet, talk about HR, mindset, compassionate leadership. And then there's a side to you, which is a Hollywood agent. And the two, it's like Flashdance the movie. I'm not going to say that you're the same character, but there's two different sides to you. I know from where you're standing, it looks like the same thing. But from anybody looking on the outside, how do you have these two different sides? And how did you get started in the Hollywood industry to be doing what you do now?
So in Hollywood, I'm considered a SAG-AFTRA talent agent. I happen to be in Hollywood, so you call a Hollywood agent. In New York, you are called a New York agent. Now, I have been as a SAG-AFTRA probably 11 years now. I've been in the industry before. I have a degree in cinema, in television. So I went through the studies. Instead of being in front of the camera, and I decided to represent agent and also managers plus talent. So I really went through schooling. When we talk about preaching what you do, I went through preparation. Now, the preparation itself doesn't give me access to the union. It gave me access to individuals that have access to the union. In Hollywood is who you know. And if you have the right connection, you may have chances of success. I happen to be a lucky individual with means that is, I am rich in access. My access probably worth millions, I don't know, but I am rich in access. I have access to individuals that can make or shake an environment or a movie or this or that. And they mentored me through time, and I became an agent through them, through this process. For what I do, what I've done, they saw the potential in what I do, and they gave me the chance to become what I want to become. So they made my dream come true. It's my turn to make the dream of others come true.
Sounds like a movie to look forward. So
it's really something else.
You started off as a movie geek. You were into cinema. You loved all this stuff, and
I have a film or two under my belt, especially in animation as a student. I did work in the film school, and I worked in the breaking down the script with a studio. I never really went through the production itself on my own. I never practiced that because I felt I need something to follow on. Then I went for business school, and the rest is history. But I've always kept my passion, and I have an agency. It's not like, oh, I am a licensed. No, I have an agency, AMK Hollywood Talent Agency, which represents individuals in Hollywood and we place them in production as well. So it's a good journey, really a beautiful journey that I have. Now, in addition to this, I happen to be, I really don't like to use I, but you're asking me the question, how? You and I would talk about Hollywood. Somebody else may ask me about other things I have. Like you have a school for this, you have a license for this, you have background company, you have this. How come? I have a mindset of a business mindset. I don't dream just to dream. I achieve. That's the truth. My type of individual, if I think of something, I don't just dream it and I wish it. I'm not a wisher. I'm a doer. So if I need something, if I say, Dave, we're going to do this, few years, few weeks, few times, it's going to happen. So that's why I have 7 degrees.
Sorry, 7 degrees.
Yes.
I've not met anybody with 7 degrees before.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm telling you what I do.
You remember them all?
Well, yeah, probably not, but I really do have enough degrees to make me versed in whatever environment I'm in. That's why I'm called a multi-talented thought leader, because it's not only one thing. I have, sorry if I'm going to tell you, but it's good to know, right? So I have a school for notary publics in LA. I teach people to become notary publics. I happen to be a notary myself. I'm a principal instructor. I have a talent agency. I have an insurance agency. I have a real estate agency. I have a background company. I have a consulting company. So what I'm saying when I say I have, is not because I want to say, wow, I have. What I'm saying is, if you put yourself into this compassionate process and you want to be helping others, you have to self-develop. Do not dream. You become the best you can become. You become the richer you can become. But do not let this power that you accumulate corrupt you. You have to use a humility. And it's good to be vulnerable with time, is because most of us vulnerable, we don't really know everything. And not all businesses will succeed. At time during COVID, you know what I did? During COVID, while everybody was going, I don't know what to do, I established a company, A&G US Health USA. A&G Health USA provided sanitizers, alcohol, gloves, masks, oximeters to people interested in preventing COVID. You become part of society. When we talk about become part of society and help it, in the local community and help it, that's how you do it. You become active as an individual. So my message to your audience, do not wait to become rich. Even if you have $1, develop yourself with that dollar, and the other part of it, help others. Because trust me, it's going to be reciprocated back in kind. It's going to come back to you. And if you have elderly parent, take care of them. That's the most blessing you can have. If you haven't called your parent for a while, forget the old times. Hey mom, how are you? Hey dad, how are you? Do this and you'll be blessed in return. This is what we're talking about, compassionate leadership. Compassionate leadership is someone who changes the environment they're in and help others to become. So that's why, I never really told you what I do, Dave, before. I've never told anybody actually what I do. All I know is just I have this, but I have all the licenses. And I have businesses, I'm lucky there.
That's not luck. You don't do it by luck. You do it because you, as you've said, you set your mind out to do it. I'm going to pick up on that point in a moment. I just want to say that, since the pandemic, unfortunately, I lost my father, but I do Zoom my mum every day.
I remember. I remember that. Yeah.
And I will actually put into our conversation 12 questions I asked my father before he passed. I didn't know he was going to pass, obviously. For anybody who wants to interview their parents while they still have them, there's loads that they don't tell you because they don't know and they've not thought about it. I'm going to share 12 questions to ask your parents together, or ask whoever you've got. And it's amazing the stuff that comes out, because it means that you can pass on their story, which at the end of the day is all we are. The ability to pass it on to the next generation and the next
legacy,
exactly, on their journey. I'm gonna throw a question at you, which you should be able to answer. Now I've discovered that you're a thought leader, genius, and king of the world. So here's the question: where's the entertainment industry going to go next? Because it's all shifted. Movies are not as big at cinema for lots of reasons as they are being streamed as a show, and the big stars made that jump across during maybe 24. Keith Sutherland, I think that was one of the times I saw the shift from cinematic movies to TV that actually hooked. People bought the DVDs, and I thought, wow, this is a great format, and it's like watching a movie, but I don't have to wait for 3 years for a sequel. Now, individuals are going out there and doing stuff themselves. The Hollywood system is still there doing what it does. Influencers, TikTok, Instagram, people are all creating their own broadcast systems. But for somebody like you with an overview of everything, where do you think it's going to end up? Is it going to end up being that the whole Hollywood system will still be fine and do really well with the AI challenges? Or do you think that people should maybe not take that trip to Tinseltown and start producing their own stuff, because in their own home, they can do what they would have done by traveling to the US instead?
The landscape changed already, 2000, really after COVID now, because of the new technology. Streaming is taking hold, and it's gonna continue to take hold. That's why you have all these large corporations investing and actually have developed the programs and the softwares, and they're using. They have millions and millions of subscribers. I want to tell you a personal story. Before streaming, every other week, because I'm into the movie, either I'm invited to a screening, or I go and personally get popcorn, lunch, dinner, and I take a family member with me, and we go to watch a movie. I haven't seen a movie for the last 4 years, like a movie in the movie house. But listen to this. In my home, I have Hulu, I have Netflix, I have Prime Time, I have Disney. So you have 4 or 5 or 6 screenings, streaming services at home, more expensive, probably less expensive than going to a movie. And then when you get it now, you still pay $18. You still rent it. But when you rent it at home, you're creating an environment for the family. So instead of you spending 7, 8 times the amount, you pay one, and the whole family will watch it. So it changed the demographic, it changed the landscape, and also the way you go to see the actual movies. At one time, COVID played a part, plus the industry kind of shut down. The assumption was the movies, they're going to lose their power, they're going to lose their potential, and they're not going to be the same box office and stuff. Then you have Tom Cruise come and places his movie, Top Gun, and that shifted.
Yep.
In my opinion, is going to be eventually the movie is going to be for the elitist of us all, the people that really like to go to see the movie, the screen, they like the experience. Demographics changed as far as who's going to visit. We'll always have a chance to see a movie on a larger screen, but we're going to be limiting as far as locations. So you're really going to make an effort to see a movie in a movie house, because they wouldn't be as available as before. So that you may be shutting it down, because it makes sense, because people are not watching. So you really have to find, instead of one movie, you're going to see them offering 2 movies for the price of one. That's a possibility. You're going to see them probably offering a discount on popcorn, on the drink. They're going to find ways, marketing. They're going to find ways to bring you in to the movie house. But we'll always have the experience of the movie house. How they will shift? Are they going to be a blockbuster and they succeed in maintaining their standing, or are they going to exit, or are they going to be Netflix and continue the service? So it's really up to Hollywood and how they do it, and up to the corporations how they do it. But there's a shift in mindset, there's a shift in setting, there's a shift in the landscape itself. So we'll observe it. We're still observing what's going to happen probably in the next 7 years, what could happen out of these movie houses. But they're definitely going to change the offering in the movie houses. Definitely.
That's so fascinating. That's amazing. Yeah. So we're talking about the fact that the cinematic experience is going to evolve. So it may be that a movie on tour. This is something that Kevin Smith did many years ago. He'd make cheaper budget movies that were cost effective because the sponsors had covered all the costs, maybe $3 million, something like that. But then he'd have the actors go on tour with the movie being shown, and then doing a Q&A afterwards. The actors weren't massive, famous, oh my goodness, cost a fortune, but they were passionate about it. And that tour made it effective to be able to get the movie around without paying a marketing budget. That was the marketing budget. So maybe that
the experience itself is going to change. They either give you wider screens, they give you an IMAX style movies, something you don't see at home, something you cannot experience at home. That's going to be what's going to happen. The experience of you visiting a movie house is going to change. How they do it, how it develops, we're going to observe. But absolutely, there are going to be changes to the betterment of the consumer, because the consumer has to see there's value of this amount I'm paying. They're not going to reduce the prices. Definitely not, because it costs money to have them, to produce this. But they will offer you more to the dollars that you're spending.
I love it, and I know that we've had your time longer than you actually were willing to give at the beginning, because I know you're really busy and you've got classes to look at.
And I enjoy talking to you. I haven't seen you we talked a lot, but I haven't seen you for how many years now? 2020? Was it 2020? 3-4 years?
I was going to say 20 years. It's not that long since we last spoke.
Yeah, no, since 2020 we haven't
post-pandemic, or just near the end of the pandemic, when we jumped onto a Zoom call and created that broadcast. But we talk on a more regular basis through LinkedIn, through WhatsApp, and it's always a pleasure to connect to you. This has been a really enlightening and fascinating conversation. I look forward to having more. Before we finish this, when can people get access to the book so they can find out the Hollywood secrets and they can map out how they become global superstars? And
most likely September 2024.
Right.
September 2024 is coming out, and hopefully by then it will be. I'm doing two things. I created drabooks.com, which I'm going to offer that. I'm not having anybody have exclusive to any of my books. I will be having exclusive. I'm there to really, as you know, is not to make the money out of these books, is as much as I want to provide the knowledge, the skills, and the enlightenment to them. They will pay a fee, but they can do it through the book itself, drabooks.com. Amazon is going to be part of it as well, so they can purchase it, or from other bookstores. But in September, for sure, it's going to be out.
Absolutely incredible. I'm going to sign up for that book. We can get all the stuff on your website, by the way, and I'll give the links to your website and your social medias to connect with you. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and it's been great to be in the driving seat of asking you questions for a change, and your answers were really, really honorable, transparent, and inspiring. It's been a pleasure spending this quality time with you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to share your vision and your vision and your expertise on leadership, especially in the entertainment world, with everybody here and Speak on Stage.
Dave, thank you very much for inviting me. It's an honor as well to be with you. And you know that we're not just exchanging nice words here. I like your grit. I like your wit. I like what you do. Continue the magic that you're doing. I am supporting you all the way.
You're such a star. Thank you so much. You're very kind. So there we go. The incredible Dr. Abraham Khoureis. Make sure you connect with him online. I'm going to leave you all the contact details. Get his books, because as you've seen there, there's so much more that you can get your teeth into, and it will change your life as well as your business, and it will certainly fast track your ability to get to where you truly need to be. Dr. Abraham is one of the many stars that we have on this podcast, Speak on Stage. Remember what I say, jump and grow wings on the way down. And wherever you are, whatever you do, I wish you the very best. I will be here for you on your next journey. Have an amazing day. Catch you next time on Speak on Stage. I'm Dave Crane. Let me tell you about grit. Most people think it's easy, but they don't really understand it. It's a long story. It's about a long journey. And if you really want to make a difference in your life, then grit's the way that you'll do it. Let me explain. It means pain. It means perseverance on a worldwide scale. It's taking yourself to the next level. And most people don't do that. They don't realize the journey doesn't stop. You keep your eyes on the prize. You go wide and never ever let it stop. You go on a journey like this, looking around, wondering where it's going, where's it leading me? And when you stop, you have to take a breath. You have to realize, not everybody's on your side. Most people don't understand, but grit is the one thing that'll take you on your journey. Let me show you something. And I'm exhausted, because the way that it takes you is grit has always got to be trusted. It's a one thing, a unifier that guarantees you will go to a higher level in your life, because somehow you will know nobody else does. Nobody else gets it. Nobody else knows just how much it takes to make it. So is grit the same as perseverance? Is it the same as resilience? Is it the same as talking? Is it the same as goals? It's all the above. But here's the difference. If you decide you've got grit, then it doesn't matter where you're from. Grit beats all. It beats smarts. It beats intelligence. It beats strength of character. It just means you keep your eyes on the prize and you keep pushing, non-stop. And that's what we do. Keep pushing. And it means you spend a lot of time on your own, on a journey. Nobody gets it, nobody knows, nobody understands. And as you travel, there's people that travel with you. And they don't know why you're doing it. And you don't have to explain it either. But tests have shown, if you've got grit, the big change that it makes for you is you always become with it. You can move, and you never change. And people come and go, but they always say the same thing. Why do you do this? Why do you stick with it? Why do you just take the easy route? But you can't. Grit doesn't work that way. You lose friends, you lose family, you lose money, you change towns, go to a new venue, find new hurdles, get friends, get down. Everybody looks and they step off. You take a new journey with you, but the way to stick with it is grit will see you through. If you believe in yourself and you're strong enough, you don't, then you're never going to make it. But here's the thing, if you've got grit, you're always going to take it. And then at the end of your journey, and it doesn't matter who you are, just pushing yourself further and further will get you to somewhere special. And when you get there, you'll know that every single second was worth it. You'll know it. Because when you get to the top, and you look at that view, and you put down your stuff, and you know it's about you can smile, you can love, and you can see it was worth it. Thank you for tuning into another insightful episode of Speak on Stage with Dave Crane. We hope you found today's conversation inspiring and packed with valuable insights to help you to amplify your presence on stage too. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more aspiring speakers just like yourself. Remember, the stage is your platform to shine, and with the right tools and mindset, you can captivate any audience anywhere. So keep honing your craft, refining your message, and never shy away from the spotlight. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll dive even deeper into the world of public speaking and performance. Until then, keep speaking, keep shining, and keep making an impact. This is Dave Crane signing off. See you next time on Speak on Stage.